Good morning. I'm after Big Boy today. I hope I get him. I call him the toilet bowl buck. That's what I named him.
These wood hens are everywhere in these woods. They can sure make a lot of racket. In this setup, I'm on public hunting lands again in the great state of Alabama with bow in hand. I've got this doe coming up a finger ridge. I'm sitting right up on top of a bench. Once she gets this finger ridge, she turns and walks this bench up. This big old buck that I've been seeing has walked the upper side of this bench just in the thicket every time I've seen him. I've got several good bow shots to him, but if I sit any higher on the bench, any deer crossing coming down the bench will smell me. Or like this doe, I don't know how in the world she spotted me sitting up there in that tree, but she got a bead on me. Don't know what I am, but I don't like getting a doe stomping her foot, acting nervous. If Big Boy's anywhere around, he hears that mess, he'll just completely avoid this spot. So this is not a good situation, but I ain't giving up. I'm going to try to patiently wait her out. Unfortunately, she's going to be pretty doggone persistent. She can't tell what I am in that tree. I'm not really sure what she saw. A reflection maybe off the sun, you never know. My glasses, unfortunately, nothing I can do about the reflection of the sun. She could have seen that. I try to wear a brim hat or something to keep it in the shade. My glasses reflect so much. I don't really know what I can do about that other than just try to wear a short brim hat and keep the lenses in the shade. She's trying to circle downwind of me and see if she can catch scent. But my setup is practically bulletproof for wind. She may know there's something in that tree, but she's not going to be able to smell me, because if she goes too far down there, she's going to have to go off a steep embankment. And if she gets down there, my scent is just going to go right over the top of her head. So I don't think she's, in this setup, she's going to be able to smell me. In fact, I'm doing a voiceover after the fact, and I know for sure she's not going to smell me. So, but I try to make these entertaining as possible. But it don't stop her from trying. And she still knows I'm up there. She hasn't lost track of where I'm at. She just don't know what I am. I think when these deer stomp their feet, head bob, flick their tail, they're just trying to get you to move so they can be able to identify you as either a threat or, I don't know, maybe something friendly. Who knows? But that foot stomp, a deer can hear that foot stomp quiet a long distance away. And I'll be honest, I'm not really sure what all the foot stomp communicates to other deer, because I watched a buck one time walk up to an edge of a thicket and just stand in one spot stomping his foot. If he stomped it once, he stomped it 75 times. And while he was stomping his foot, a doe got up out of that thicket and came to him. And they ended up literally licking on each other for a little while. I guess it was brother and sister. It was a young buck. So I'm not really sure what all the foot stomp communicates. I know in this situation, it's not a good thing. That I do know. Well, it's midday. I'm gonna try to make a move with my stand. This buck is on the other ridge. I caught a small glimpse of him heading that way, so I'm going to try to reposition my tree stand, hopefully for an afternoon sit.
There's a scrape right here. And just right there is the deer bed. That's where he's bedding, right there. I found two beds. One on this ridge, and there's one directly across. This is definitely where he's headed to when he goes to bed. He's on the other ridge this morning. Gonna get this sucker one way or another. Just a matter of time.
I circled around this area so that I could get on the downwind side of this draw. The buck I'm after is bedded on top of the ridge, would be to the left of the screen. While I'm sitting here this afternoon, this young buck started easing up from the draw. He's headed up there to where my big buck is supposed to be bedding. I don't really know how they're going to react to each other when this little buck gets up there, but I kind of want to keep the camera turned on this little buck just to see what kind of reaction I get should this little buck get too close to this bigger buck, which is bedding just at the top of this hill, right on the ledge. And I know it took me a long time to sneak in here, but I feel pretty confident that I got in here and got in my tree and got settled down without spooking any deer that might be on that ridge top bedded down. We'll see. Once that little buck got to the top of the ridge, he blowed this doe out, and she run down there and stopped. you can hear that buck walking around on top behind her. This could be the same doe I saw this morning. I think the reason this big buck beds here is he's right close to acorns. It's early season. He wants to be pretty tight to the food source and with other deer nearby. She don't want no part of that buck up there on the hill. But who knows? Maybe this little bit of action will get this buck up on his feet a little bit early this evening. I'm gonna let her slip on out of here.
I just saw a big buck about 100 yards away. I grunted to the deer, and he did the same thing he did last year. He just took off like a bullet and went back the other way. I can't grunt at this deer. He just freaks out when you grunt at him. I'm gonna get him though. Sooner or later, I'm gonna get him. He was right down in that bottom, down there, walking up. If I hadn't grunted at him, he may have turned and come up this finger ridge toward me, but it looked like he was going to the other ridge. So I really had no choice but to try to turn him. He don't like being grunted at though.